Bumpity bump 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 bumpity bump 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 bumpity bump. All right. Good morning. Good morning. And how is everyone? Morning, Ty. Glad to see you made it in. And you've downloaded most of the those Dragnet radio shows, man. And what's so much fun with them when you get into the later seasons is they're running at the same time as the Dragnet television shows. So you've got Joe there uh, advertising for his not only for the radio show but for the television show. So yeah, I love that old stuff. I'm listening right now to the Sam Spade uh, detective shows. The uh, Richard Diamond stuff is Richard Diamond. If you get a chance to listen to those, man, you'll those are fantastic. They are really great to listen to. They're fun. They're funny as hell as well as being noir stuff. So, uh, yeah, the Richard Diamond is hilarious. You'll love it. Uh, I've gone through that entire series. That's why I'm doing Sam Spade now. Um, and I there's for let's see for the prosecution. I think is going to be the next one I'm planning on doing. When I get done with the Sam Spade. So yeah, I mean they're great listening to stuff. You're absolutely correct on that. Okay, as y'all know, I this past 2 weeks has been really rough on me. I've had a lot of doctor's appointments. I've had a lot of other stuff going on in my life. My grandson was born back on the 28th. Um, I mean, it's just been full and full and full of time. I've been having to make Zoom calls with our corporate offices uh, about some issues going on there. So, um, yeah, this is just for a person who's only working 2 days a week. My time for the past 2 weeks has really been filled. Been running on four. Well, I mean, I get my usual 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, and but it's I'm so racked up by the time I get to bed, I don't feel like I've gotten any sleep. And thank you, Gran. My son had to go back to work, so fortunately, my daughter-in-law she's been a stay-at-home mom now for the past couple of years. Uh, my son makes enough to cover all the bills and everything and the mortgage. So she's been doing the stay-at-home thing. They decided that the money she made after paying daycare and everything else, it just wasn't worth it. So now we've got August and September, October, and December birthdays. I've got a grandson in August, my dad, and another grandson in September. And I've got my brother and my sister. And I've got two brothers and a sister whose birthdays are in December. So yeah, it's and then and birthdays in October too. So yeah, there's just November's the only month I don't have. Thank God I don't have any birthdays in November because I got Thanksgiving I got to worry about. So this I've have entered the busy season for me, and then of course there's Christmas and New Year's. So But and I've been trying to keep up on the news, but there's both everything else going on. I haven't been able to keep as tight of a watch on everything. But there's still been a lot of foolishness. Um, One of the podcasters I sort of watch. I don't. I mean, I'm not dedicated to them or not to them a whole lot. Um, the leftists. This is just an example of how the leftists are, how liberals are in this country of ours. They claim to be the tolerant ones. They really do. Mom's birthday's. Well, my condolences. 59. That's I'm tired. I'm 63, and it seems like the number of friends that I've had over the years that are still around is the numbers are dropping, and I'm only 63. It seems weird. I wouldn't expect, you would, I didn't expect this until I was in my 80s. But anyway, but the leftist liberals seem to be the most intolerant people around for all their proclamations of being tolerant. They're only tolerant of the people they want to be tolerant. If you disagree, they're only tolerant of people that agree with them. If you disagree with a liberal, they want nothing to do with you. They will cut you out of your life, out of their life. It's amazing. It really is. Um, Here, I'm going to share this. It's a rather lengthy letter. Okay. Dear community fans and members, this is the kind of post I try to avoid. You'll notice this morning I've removed a post I made while I was away working and traveling yesterday. At quite short notice, I was kindly invited to get together with a very group of people who do some filming. I normally don't turn down such opportunities unless I have concrete reason, even if I have factual, non-damaging disagreements with another person involved. I try to beat the views I disagree with facts and argument. One of the people involved yesterday turns out is highly personally offensive to a lot of people I care about, both here and offline. I did not know about the depths and complexities of the issues that person before yesterday. So, as far as an individual, they got along with this guy wonderfully when they were talking about when they just normal day-to-day conversation. They were having, they got along wonderful. They had no, you know, yeah, they had disagreements, but you're always going to have disagreements. Okay, you're not everybody agrees on everything. But then, but then the thing that happened, the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't care if the person was if somebody has historical views I disagree with. I'll argue with them, but I do deeply care if a person has views that I deem to be venturing into the realm of bigotry such as sexism, racism, or homophobia. This is absolutely and obviously a line that is a line in the sand for me. So if you did and disagree with the person about trans issues, gay marriage, or something they deem to be sexist or racist, and my God, anything. I mean, there's even ads saying drinking white milk is racist. Come on, that speaking even semi-proper English is racist. that going to church is racist or going to church can be sexist. So, I mean, I've interacted with this person over the years, including posting video rebuttals, arguments, responses, etc., on historical matters. I have not experienced anything negative with that person other than disagreeing with the fairly large number of points that person has made, as evidenced by my videos responses over the years. So for years, these guys have had discussions. And the guy was, hey, we disagree, but that's no problem. However, yesterday after filming, it was brought to my attention that on their second channel, the one I've only visited a handful of times, a long time ago, this person is now promoting a political and social views which are absolutely against my own views, and indeed against the principles of the groups and events I run. I was not aware of the nature and the extremity of this person's views before yesterday. People, of course, can express their views in a free society, but I'm equally free to disapprove or disagree with. That's fine. You can disapprove. You can disagree. No one expects everyone to agree with them 100% of the time, except leftists. Hey, morning, Ramen. How you doing today, my dear? You're right, Ty. That sounds awfully damn familiar, doesn't it? I filmed one video of said person. Now, I've already decided last night not to publish that. I've also taken down yesterday's post because I want to move on from this and disassociate with them. Understand that many people will be angry I've collaborated with that person at all, even before I knew their views. And I hope it will partially appease you to know I will not associate with them any longer. I will not associate with them again. This is the part that got me. I hope it will appease you. This guy is falling on, literally falling on his sword to appease the people on the left. Hey, morning, Well, afternoon, Batman. How you doing today? Yeah, you're right. It does remind me of the Borg. You're right. It absolutely does remind me of the Borg. For people who are upset to read this and did not know about this person's views, I suggest you go and decide for yourself. But I know where my line is in the sand. Now, this page will return to its usual content. Apologies for the diversion. Now, there's people I disagree with. I disagree with vehemently on issues. We're still friends. I still talk to him. We have just agreed not to discuss certain issues because we want to maintain a friendly atmosphere between the two of us. He's a good guy. We just disagree. We have political disagreements. We have societal disagreements. But we have a lot of things we agree on. And he's a good guy. He's got a pleasant personality. His wife is a beautiful woman. They're both wonderful cooks. We share recipes. Yeah, exactly, Tyre. You love if there's going to be a situation that's going to cause issues, if there's a political issue or a societal issue that's going to cause problems at work or problems with the relationship, you don't discuss them. You don't discuss them, plain and simple. Not if you want to maintain that friendship. So it comes down to what is more important to you. Is it maintaining that friendship, that relationship you've had for years? Or is it being able to beat somebody over the head and have them 100% agree with you on every one of these issues? Now, are there some issues that, hey, I'm sorry, yeah, okay, I believe in cannibalism. I believe in murder. I believe in mass murder. I believe in know, raping every woman or every man I come across. Yeah, I mean, those kind of things you don't want to associate with people who believe that way. You know, I believe in shooting everyone. I believe in dropping bombs on people. Hey, yeah, okay, that's understandable. But just because you disagree with someone, and it's not so much that you disagree with them, but you want to appease other people. You're letting other people make the decision for you who you can be friends with. There's no spine there. There is no spine there at all. I believe they, man, I haven't heard that song in a long time there, Tyre. But you're a spineless fool if you let other people decide who's going to be your friends. You really and truly are. You are a spineless fool. Okay. Let's see. What's next on the agenda? There's a lot of things here. I've got a lot of tabs open here this morning. Um, let's go to Matt Gaetz, Florida House member. Matt Gaetz is one of those people I have a love-hate relationship with him. But he's consistent. He is consistent with what he uh, says and does. Okay, so let's see here. And okay, is this going to share or not? Up there it goes. Okay.
Mr. Gaetz for 5 minutes.
On this very floor in January, the whole world witnessed a historic contest for House Speaker.
Now, if we'll remember that contest, it was a lot of votes went on. A lot of people, a lot of little groups within the Republican Party. There was at one time, at least in my mind, a fear that Hakeem Jeffries was going to get elected as Speaker of the House because, and McCarthy is, yeah, you're right, Tyre. The other guys let mob rule. Okay, Batman. Yeah, no, I don't think that's bravery. I think that's stupidity. But Yeah, if y'all remember, and that was a huge all-nighter on getting actually getting McCarthy voted. And I wasn't really happy with McCarthy being elected Speaker of the House because I've always considered him kind of a spineless Republican.
Rise today to serve notice. Mr. Speaker, you are out of compliance with the agreement that allowed you to assume this role.
McCarthy made deals to get votes, and he made deals with the group that Matt Gaetz was with. Matt Gaetz, MTG, and others. Oh, really? McCain and Gates almost got into a fight. Oh, I've got to look that up.
The path forward for the House of Representatives is to either bring you into immediate total compliance or remove you pursuant to a motion to vacate the chair.
There it is. There's the threat. There is the threat.
We have had no vote on term limits or on balanced budgets as the agreement demanded and required. There's been no full release of the January 6 tapes as you promised. There has been insufficient accountability for the Biden crime family. And instead of cutting spending to raise the debt limit, you relied on budgetary gimmicks and rescissions so that you ultimately ended up serving as the valet to underwrite Biden's debt and advance his spending agenda. Mr. Speaker, you boasted in January that we would use the power of the subpoena and the power of the purse. But here we are, 8 months.
Yes, he did. He did make brags that he was going to get a lot of things done. And he was going to cut spending. And he was going to lay out subpoenas like the Democrats did, like Nancy Pelosi did.
Later, and we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden. That's how you know that the rushed and somewhat rattled performance you just saw from the Speaker isn't real. At this point, during Democrat control over the House of Representatives, they had already brought in Don Jr. 3 times. And we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden. Power of the subpoena and power of the purse. Only thing the 118th Congress is known for at this point is electing Kevin McCarthy Speaker and underwriting Biden's debt. And unfortunately, there's only one of those things we can remediate at this time: power of the purse. Our leadership right now is asking us to vote for a continuing resolution. A vote for a continuing resolution is a vote to continue the Green New Deal, a vote to continue inflationary spending, and in the most troubling of fashions, a vote for a continuing resolution is a vote to continue the election interference of Jack Smith. Mr. Speaker, we told you how to use the power of the purse. Individual, single-subject spending bills that would allow us to have specific review, programmatic analysis, and that would allow us to zero out the salaries of the bureaucrats who have broken bad.
When they talked about doing these single-issue bills, I cheered. I want single-issue bills. I want the House sitting there saying, okay, EPA, this is your money. This is what needs to be spent on. That is what the House is supposed to be doing. Not just block granting out billions of dollars to all these agencies and letting them spend them as they see fit. Now, will there be problems when these bills get to the Senate? Of course there will be. The Democrats will not want those bills to go through. And the media will be on the Democrat side as always. We know this. Now, we need some Republicans in there that have got some damn spines. This Republican Party is so damn spineless. They've got the people behind them. We're tired of what the Democrats have been doing to this country. We're tired of what the NEA is doing to our children. We're tired of these ongoing political witch hunts against Donald Trump. We're tired of this mess. And these Republicans in the House and in the Senate are doing nothing about it. They're not getting out there and saying what they need to be saying, doing what they need to be doing. Ex- exactly. Batman, you're right. Single issue bills, you know, that's the way it's supposed to be done. They weren't block grants. And honestly, the House should have been working on these 4 months ago. They should have started working on these single issue bills months ago. And there's another issue coming up on that I want to talk about here today that is all about this also.
Targeted President Trump or cut sweetheart deals for Hunter Biden. September 30th is rapidly approaching, and you have not put us in a position to succeed. There is no way to pass all the individual appropriations bills now, and it's not like we didn't know when September 30th was going to show up on the calendar.
September 30th comes around the same time every year. It's like your birthday or anniversary. It's there on the calendar, and you are not going to stop it from showing up.
I must be better, you must be better, and this House must be better, for it is the last best hope for tens of millions of Republicans. We demand...
Okay, Gates, quit stealing lines from sci-fi TV shows. That's straight from Babylon 5, if you didn't catch it.
Real oversight against this weaponized government. Just look at the bribery. If tens of millions of dollars flowing from foreign corrupt people into the bank accounts of the Biden family wasn't enough for actual impeachment, why were we even looking? Joe Biden deserves impeachment for converting the vice presidency into an ATM machine for virtually his entire family. We all see it. We all know it.
Now, I've got a problem with this, okay? Yes, Biden did do this as vice president. But he's no longer vice president. Then there's a 4-year gap there between him being vice president and president. As dirty as it is, I don't think you can impeach a man for what he did before he went into office. You can bring it up. You can talk about it. You can make it news, especially make it part of your election campaign to make him lose office. But you can't bring it up to. I don't believe it's right to bring it up to impeach the man for something he did before he was elected. Yes, I am making an argument here to not use this stuff to impeach Biden on anything he did before he got elected. I'd make the same argument if it's a Republican. Okay. Hey, Johnny, good morning. Now, Johnny, listen to what I said. I said things he did before he got elected. Anything that he's done that's happened since he took that oath of office, that's fair game. Okay, Tyre, all right. And then I'm going to get called a hypocrite on this. All right. I disagree. There are some things that I disagree with. Okay. That you, that just because the Democrats did it, that don't mean the Republicans should do it. All right. But I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to make that exact argument. The Democrats did it. I've made it before. The Democrats did it, like when they uh, changed, went with the nuclear option on getting judges when Reed. Then he turned around, got upset. Democrats got all upset and angry when the Republicans did it also on the Supreme Court under Trump. The Democrat, that is one thing Democrats need to learn. Things they do in office to get their things done, the way they do things, rules they make up, are going to turn around and bite them in the ass when the Republicans do it. And there are times I'm going to agree with using that logic, and there are times I'm going to disagree. All right. And I disagree with using something a person did uh, prior to getting elected in office as a reason to impeach them. And again, all right, as with everything, all right, if we find out Joe Biden murdered somebody, hey, that crosses that line into yes. All right, we find out Joe, God, we already know this, but we got proof that he SA'd a young girl. Then yeah, that's it. And again, Johnny Bonsacco, okay, you're right. You're 100% right about those classified documents. You are 100% right. All right. Joe Biden had no right to have those classified documents as vice president. All right. No right whatsoever. Neither did Pence. Neither did Pence. And both of them should have been dealt with as they tried to deal with Trump on that. Okay. There, I, I've never, I can't say I'm consistent on all issues. I really can't because I mean, I admit I'm not. There are some issues I'm very inconsistent on. Oh, Spanky, what's the matter? We don't have no lightning. My puppy decided to climb up on my lap. He only does that when he hears lightning, but I don't see any out there. Johnny, right? Because see, if the stuff they've done before they were in office and people knew about, and people still elected them to office, unless it is criminal, okay? It's like that chick the woman out of Virginia that all of a sudden found out that she was doing porn online to raise money to run her campaign for the state house of Virginia. Okay, people know about that now. People know they can go online and find pictures of her naked and doing things sexually. All right? The pictures are out there, the videos are out there. If they vote her into office, they vote her into office. You can't impeach her for that. because she did it before she got in office. Now, once she got in office, if she continued to do it, that would be a different matter. All right. But people know she did it. If they still vote, if the Democrats still vote for her and put her in office, then that's what the people want. Oh yeah, Ramen, I'm letting Spanky. I've got him right here next to me, and I'm giving him what he needs. I'm no, giving his scritches. Now, okay, Johnny, if we can prove criminal activity, all right, then we handle it the criminal, just like Bill Clinton. I remember Bill Clinton was uh, accused of criminal activity, and I said then, and the rules of the courts and the rulings of the courts come out that he was as president that could not try him for criminal activity until after he got out of office. As long as he was in office, he could not be brought up on criminal charges. He could be impeached, which he was, but he could not be tried for criminal activities until after he got out of office. And Joe Biden, I mean, that die's been cast. So Joe Biden is the same way. As long as he is president, he cannot be tried on criminal activities. He can be impeached, and if he's impeached and convicted by the Senate and removed from office, then he can be tried for the criminal activities. No, Johnny, you're wrong on both counts. I have been paying attention. You know I've been paying attention. And no, you know I'm not okay with the way these guys use their office to screw over. I think every one of them should be impeached and removed from office. I believe every one of them should be uh, should not be reelected into office. All right. However, however, the people have the right to the representation in office that they want. I don't think I'm contradicting myself, Johnny. I really don't. Let me do something here real quick. Here we go. Come on, Streamlabs pop up. Thank you. And come back over to here. Where is it? There it is. And I, I'm still here. I'm trying to find Johnny. You don't have did you get kicked off of uh Twitter? Did you get kicked off of Twitter? You sure must have been kicked off of Twitter. So I'm going to have to do this the hard with a. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's been that long since I've come on. I don't know if it's there we go. Johnny, here I'm posting the link. Johnny, come online here. Let's have a discussion. First person to be permanent off of Twitter and X. Okay. John, my life has been so wrapped up here this past couple of weeks. My wife's mad at me because I forgot to cook dinner one night. Yeah, I spoil the hell out of my wife now that I'm home 5 days a week. All right, you get your coffee, go pee, and then join me here. All right. But anyway, get back here. You know, let's listen to the rest of this. Where's it at? That's not it. I'm trying to find the video again. There it is.
Moments ago, Speaker McCarthy endorsed an impeachment inquiry. This is a baby step following weeks of pressure from House conservatives to do more. We must move faster. Now, I will concede that the votes I have called for will likely fail: term limits, balanced budgets, maybe even impeachment. I am prepared for that eventuality because at least if we take votes, the American people get to see who's fighting for them and who's willing to tolerate more.
Now, that is something 100%. 100% I agree with Matt Gaetz on. Let's bring these issues up for a vote in the House. All right, bring them up for a vote. We already know every Democrat in the House is going to vote against them. We know that. Boom. The House Democrats are going to vote against them. And term limits. They're going it's going to be 300 to 10. These people are not going to vote to term limit themselves, and honestly, I don't believe in term limits. I really don't. I do not believe in term limits for term limits' sake. I believe to let the people have the representation in Congress that they want to have, the people they vote for. All right. If you vote for this, whoever gets voted into office got voted into office, as long as they meet the constitutional requirements. I disagree with term limits. I truly do. I posted the link there in the chat there, Johnny. I posted the link in the chat. Let me post it again.
You fucking dickhead. You said you sent the link.
Okay,
God
there you are.
Damn it. I don't think you
Are you
want me
happy,
today.
Johnny?
I don't think you want me today, man. I am in no mood for this shit. And what you're doing is just pissing me off this morning. Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me, guys? I could be over on Twitch playing my pirate game, but no. I'm listening to this shit. Sorry. How you doing
Well,
today?
well, I mean, it's been almost 2 weeks since I've been able to stream. I did not
Yeah.
stream at all last week.
And you know what, Shroom? I didn't get
What?
pissed off all last week in the morning. You should
Well,
take more breaks.
well, I don't like breaks like what I had to take last week, but that's beside the point. Uh, okay, so and I freely admit I am not always 100% consistent on every issue. All right. And I don't believe anybody can be 100% uh, consistent on every issue. I just don't
Uh-huh.
believe, at least I know I can't be because there are some cases where I do have to draw lines. And like you said, you believe that Joe Biden should be able to be impeached for what he did as vice president.
Fuck yes.
Impeached today for what he did then.
It wasn't just as vice president. It was after he was vice president. It- you're
What?
gonna
Okay.
impeach. You're gonna impeach Donald Trump for the shit that they did. Come on.
No, I'm.
And
Let's
look,
let's discuss you know how can we impeach a man? All right, for what he is. If we're going to impeach Biden for what he did as vice president 8 years later,
yes.
okay, 8 years after he's out of office as vice president.
Okay.
All right.
You want to know why? Here.
Now we're opening the door that every president can be impeached for something that he did 8, 10, 20 years earlier in his life, not for what he has done as president.
If he was working for the American people, which Vice President Biden was,
Right.
absolutely. And see, here's the problem. This is why I get so pissed off with you guys over here.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I mean,
No, hold on. Let me finish. Let me tell
I
you why I
am
get
open
pissed.
I'm
Let
open
me,
to have my mind changed here.
right. But let me tell you why I get pissed. Because you guys are willing to let these fuckers continue playing the game. The Republicans and the Democrats, it's all one machine, Shroom. There is McCarthy. I'm with Gates. I hate Gates too. Gates is a twat. He is a troublemaking twat. All he does, he
You,
goes out there and he stirs shit up. He doesn't
you,
do
you and
anything.
I agree.
So, but it's all one machine. McCarthy's part of the machine. McConnell's part of the machine. The Republicans are part of the machine.
The
They
uniparty.
allow, exactly, they allow all this shit. You don't think that the Republicans didn't know what Joe Biden was doing while he was vice president? They absolutely did. And the fact that the motherfucker came out and bragged about it after he got out of office, they should have been slam dunking that motherfucker right there. They had him on video going, yeah, yeah, I used my office to get my son out of trouble. You absolutely should have gone after him right then. There was only one reporter that was going after him for that. And it took another 2 years before anybody else picked up on what Hunter Biden and what Joe Biden were doing while Joe Biden was vice president. Joe Biden used his office as vice president to make his son millions. And we're supposed to just let that slide? Come
Okay.
on.
I'm not
See,
saying let it fly. Okay. Maybe I didn't make myself clear. All right. I'm not saying let it slide. All right. If he committed criminal acts, then we need to have him prosecuted under that. Now, when Bill Clinton was accused of criminal acts and they wanted to prosecute him, all right, the judicial system came down and said as long as he is sitting president, he cannot be prosecuted for criminal acts. He must be impeached by the House, convicted by the Senate, removed from office, and then he can be tried for the criminal acts. which makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Which
No, it
makes
doesn't.
sense.
No, it doesn't. If he is accused of committing criminal acts while in office,
Then
motherfucker
he
should be
needs to be
prosecuted on the
removed.
spot. Right.
He needs to
And
be
how the
removed from
fuck are we
office,
gonna do
and the
that?
only way you can remove him from office is through impeachment.
Right. So impeach this motherfucker.
I agree with you. I
You
agree with you.
you contradicting motherfucker.
No, I am saying no. I'm not.
You're
I'm
saying you said as
if
you
if
cannot
he
you
has
do not
committed
want
these acts as president.
I,
If he has committed these acts as president, then impeach him.
so we're supposed to just let it go until he's out of office? What's the point of impeaching him then, Shroom? What's the point of going after him then? There's no point. He's already fucked over the American people. Look at what he's doing right now.
And, that,
6 billion to Iran. You think that shit? Come on. This shit is an
and
ongoing thing with him.
okay, and that money that's gone to Iran has been approved through the House and Senate. That money was approved to go to Iran and to
Again,
the Ukraine through the House and the Senate. They followed the legislative process to
uh-huh.
get it done.
Because they have the
Okay.
backing of the President of the United States, who has been a corrupt motherfucker his whole life. Now,
Our
is the corruption continuing? I have no idea. But the fact that he was corrupt as a vice president and now he's president, we're supposed to let that shit stand? I, how the fuck? How do you expect Washington, D.C. to ever clean itself up if you're going to let a politician commit a crime in one office and then carry over to another office? That's fucking insane.
okay.
Ah,
Then why then we need to get the people. The people of the country run the country. We vote for who we're putting in office.
uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
If the again, I do- you you I don't want to see a corruption of this system itself, despite the fact that there are people in the system who are corrupt.
Shroom, half the country didn't get the fucking story about Biden because every social media platform wouldn't let it go out there.
Exactly.
Again, the fucking machine stepped in and went, no, 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 you guys can't
Uh,
talk about
all
this.
right. And the Biden administration has just been found guilty of violating First Amendment. All right. The
Great.
and they've
Who
been or
gives
they
a fuck? I'm talking about here and now. You're upset because they're going after Biden because of shit he did as a vice president. They're going after him now because half the American people, shit, Shroom, you're still on Twitter for fuck's sake, and I'm not. Half of Twitter still believes that Joe Biden didn't do shit. That Hunter Biden is clean as the driven snow. Yes, he's a drug addict. Yes, he's a dirtbag sack of shit. But they don't think anything wrong happened. I read this shit every day that comes off Twitter. Motherfuckers still believe that the Biden family is clean.
and see now this here's and I'll tell you where I know this problem is. All right, the problem we have here is a very biased media, and the media is it's. I was going to bring this up later on anyway uh, when McCarthy announced the impeachment inquiry, which is not an impeachment, we all know that this is an inquiry. All right, it's the baby steps of it, as Matt Gates said. Okay, the press sat there and made one of the I want to say it was one of the foreign reporters. At least it sounded like it was a foreign reporter to me. Uh, asked the question. Well, there's no evidence. What you have no evidence that Biden's done anything wrong. All right. And when the member of the Freedom Caucus there out of the stood up and said, "Where have you been? You haven't been paying attention." And it's not that the press hasn't been paying attention. They've been paying attention and willfully burying the stories so that the news about the corruption doesn't get out. So, I mean, there's a lot of issues here. All
So
right.
you're admitting, so you're admitting that the American people were not well versed on this, and
the
still
Amer
it's
the
okay
Amer
because they've still voted for him. You're
the
gonna stand by
American
that.
people the American people were lied to
So you're gonna,
by
but
by the
you
press.
also, okay, please continue. I'm gonna let you go
Uh,
because, God damn it.
The American people were lied to by the press. They were lied to by act and lied to by act of omission. All right, by the journalists, by ABC, NBC, and CBS, by uh, the people on The View, by people who watch all the political punditry. CNN lied out their ass. CNN at one time said, we are not, we screwed up in even covering Donald Trump. And by covering him, we let people know what he was saying, and therefore he garnered enough people to votes to become president. All right. And they swore that they would fix that. They would not. Was it Facebook or was it one of the other social medias? When they got done after the election, they said we made mistakes that we will ensure we never make again. That allowed Trump to get elected. All right. We've got in play. There's so much corruption between the social media sites. Why in the hell do you think the DOJ is bringing lawsuits against Elon for his SpaceX because he won't hire illegals? He won't hire illegals. He'll only hire Americans and those with paperwork to work in America.
Actually, they're
And
going
therefore,
after him.
the DOJ is going after him for not hiring illegals
Okay,
on his SpaceX program.
focus, room, focus. We're not
No, no.
talking about Elon. I can go
What,
off on Elon too, so hey,
what? No,
don't.
what? But what I'm saying is, we've got corruption. We've got corruption. I call it corruption. We got corruption in the media. They don't honestly report. We got corruption in the Department of Justice. We got FBI, CIA, the whole nine yards. All right, we got corruption there. We've got corruption in the Congress. All right, but is in attempting to fix this corruption, we've got to remember we've got to preserve the soul of the Constitution. We cannot destroy the Constitution in order to fix the corruption.
Okay, I'm
That's what
missing the connection here. How are
that's
we
what
destroying the soul of the Constitution by going after Joe Biden?
by if you're going to go after Joe Biden and not follow the way laid out in the Constitution. All right. He must be convicted in charges laid in the House, convicted in the Senate of high crimes and misdemeanors.
Hmm.
All right. That is the only way we can get him out of office in order to criminally prosecute him for actions that he took as vice president.
Wait, what? Run that?
All
No, no,
right.
no. Run that by me again.
All right. In order to criminally prosecute anybody, all right.
Look, I don't
Uh,
want him.
uh,
Criminal
uh,
is. I want him out of office now.
okay.
We're not
Now,
talking criminal. I don't give a shit about criminal.
are you willing? Here's the question. Are you willing to have every person elected into office have the possibilities of being impeached for something they did 10, 15, 20 years earlier?
while
Not
they
what
were
they did,
while they
not
were
what.
working for the American people.
Okay, yeah, while they were in any kind of elected office.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If they were working for the American people and they are corrupt pieces of shit 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you absolutely should go
Okay,
after them.
all right. At what level of corruption? What level of corruption are you?
See, you're willing to
Are
play
you?
this game. You're willing
It's
to
not.
play. There's an
And
acceptable amount of corruption. Fuck that.
it,
That's how we got here.
it's not a game. It's not.
It is.
I'm not
They're
playing a
playing
game.
it
I,
well, and you're buying into it.
Johnny, no, 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 no. I'm not trying to play a game here. All right. I'm trying to deter. All right. You know, I level of corruption. All right. I I got a job from. I get elected into the House. All right. And I find a job over Department of Transportation for my nephew. And I drop, over to the head of DOT. Hey, my nephew's looking for a job. He wants to get his foot in. Can you help us out? Okay. Boom. My nephew gets a job. All right. That is a level of corruption. You want to use that as an impeachment on me
Yes.
10 years later?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. That's the question I'm trying to ask. Uh, so pure as a driven snow only, never done anything, even mildly helping out a family member or anything else
If they
at
are
any point.
elected to our government, if they are working for the people, whether it's for the state, whether it's for the federal government, you damn right I want these motherfuckers Snow White clean. Absolutely. And we should expect that. And the fact that we are sitting here arguing about it is exactly what they want. These motherfuckers are playing a game with us. These motherfuckers are enriching themselves. Look at every goddamn politician. You name me one politician in the last 30 years that
There is no
is
claim. There are no clean politicians.
okay.
There are zero clean politicians. Absolutely
Then
zero.
then why are you defending any level of corruption here?
It's not so much I'm defending any level of corruption. I'm looking at things. I'm trying to look at things not pie in the sky, perfect scenario, utopia viewpoint. I'm trying to look at things realistically. Human beings.
No.
No, I'm just serious.
No, you're
All right,
willing to make allowances
all right,
for these
okay.
fuckers.
In my job working at the hotel, all right, a good friend of mine comes walking in. My price rate is $100 a night plus tax. He's only got $100. All right, but he's got his girlfriend, and they're both looking for a room so they can get some on. All right, so I give him the room for $100 flat, so it'd be $80 plus tax instead of $100 plus tax, because he doesn't have the extra 25. All right, I've used my position to help somebody else. That's the level of corruption.
Really? We're gonna go down this
Yes.
fake road with you?
Well, it's not
I-
a fake road. It's
That's you,
saying
Shroom. Shroom,
you
that's a
you.
personal decision by you. You're not affecting me. You're not affecting your district. You're not affecting your state.
But
And you're
that
not
okay,
affecting your
but
country.
I
You're affecting you and your company. That's between you and your company. I don't give a shit. I don't vote for that.
okay, but what the point I'm trying to make here, Johnny, is that as a human being, you are going to do things to help to help someone that that
Again,
may
that's
or may not
between
be
you
totally
and your
that
company.
I,
Shroom,
I I'm
I,
I'm I'm just saying, okay, I've said this before, okay, and I'll say it again. All right, while I do not like it, while I wish it wasn't that way, I have to accept that everybody in government is a human. all right, with human frailties, human valuables, and everything else, and that they are going to do things which are on a bit on the dirty side. So they're, you know, like it or not, there is going to be a level of corruption that is acceptable. A police officer who doesn't write his friend a ticket for speeding, gives him a warning, but writes the next two people tickets because he doesn't know them. All right. He let his buddy off with a verbal warning. Hey, slow it down. But the next two people he pulls over for doing the exact same speed, he writes them tickets.
And you're willing to allow that.
It's not so. It's it's accepting that it happens
Why do you have to accept it? This is what
because
as long as you're willing to accept it, then you really have no room to bitch about anything in Washington, D.C. Because these motherfuckers are dirty. You know they're dirty, and you're going to keep voting for them.
no,
You know? You're going to keep putting the same people in office that have been corrupting the system. You talk about burning the Constitution up. These motherfuckers are burning it every day with the corruption that they're fucking pulling up on the American people. And you're okay with that. So you
no,
come at me with the Constitution. How dare you? You come at me with the Constitution. Oh, well, we really going to burn the Constitution over this? And then you say, well, I have to allow that there's a certain amount of corruption. Fuck you. Fuck you. No. You want to use the Constitution to beat me over the head with it and then say, but we're not burning it when we allow just this little bit of corruption. Or this, we have to accept
I,
that these motherfuckers are corrupt and they're going to fuck over the American people to financially gain themselves. There isn't a politician in Washington or in the state, in Sacramento at the state capitol, that is poorer now than when they took office. And that should fucking say something. Because the
all right,
American
now,
people continually say, it's okay because we accept a certain amount of corruption. Fuck that. I'm done with that. I
okay,
am done with that.
so who are you going to vote for? Who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote the for anybody? Or are you going to vote? Or are you going to vote for? I can't vote for anybody because none of these people are pure as the driven snow.
If they're in office and they have fucked up in office, you're damn right I'm not voting for them. Look, I didn't vote for President Trump in 2016. You know why? Because the guy's a dirty motherfucker. The guy is garbage. He's a human dumpster fire. He has been his entire life. I could not bring myself to vote for that pile of shit. Could not vote for Hillary Clinton either.
Okay.
So, yes, I will not vote for a pile of shit that is corrupt. And as long as you guys are willing to continue playing this game, because the politicians think that they have us by the balls. Mitch McConnell, how the fuck that guy got reelected the last election is beyond me. Everybody knows that motherfucker's corrupt. It's all baked in the cake. That's the problem. This is all baked in. And if Biden, and I'm telling, and YouTube listen very carefully because I'm not saying what you think I'm saying, but if Biden gets elected in 2024, the whole system's rigged, and you fucking know it. There is no way the American people are going to vote for that pudding-brained motherfucker again with what he has done to the country over the last 2.5 years. It ain't going to happen. And I've told you you didn't want me on your stream this morning, sir.
I, I see, but you see, is you've got an opposing view to mine. I want to hear your opposing view because I'm not a concrete person. I'm willing to change my views if you make a good argument to me on it. Okay, if you, that's why I like having different people on that can rationally discuss without call ad hominems and everything else. Which Johnny, that's you. You can do it. Okay. Uh, and Beck, I mean the guys in the chat, Becca and Tyre, y'all making good arguments. y'all making really good arguments here. Okay, and I'm not going to, oh, did I just lose? Am I still here?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay.
Well, now he's gone, or I'm gone. Oh, we lost him. Okay, my show. So, what do you guys want to talk about in the chat? Hey, Becca, did you get my DM? Oh no, it's Johnny's show now. Well, I'm glad that
All
Schumer
right,
had
I'm
me
back.
on because
I'm
I was
back.
gonna go off. Okay, welcome
Okay,
back.
I'm back. Uh, okay. Now, Johnny, I mean, you're right. In an ideal world, you are right. Okay. But when it comes down to, and again, this is my view, all right, is I've got to vote for the person who best represents what I believe in. All right.
Even if he's a
And
dirty motherfucker.
even if there is a level of corruption, depending on how, even if,
then
even if whether I like it or not, because, it's that lesser of two evils.
then the system's never gonna change.
I don't like the evil to start with, but do I take accept a Nancy Pelosi level of evil, or
You're
do I
willing?
accept
Yes.
a Matt Gates level of evil?
You're accepting Nancy Pelosi level evil by allowing Joe Biden to continue in office without um, the impeachment. I mean, that's ridiculous. Nancy Pelosi, let's be honest, every motherfucker in Washington should be impeached. And the fact that the American people, I look at the shit that we are seeing come out about Nancy Pelosi and her stock trades. How the American people aren't up in arms about that is beyond me. But the
Because
fact that you're willing to
and,
accept the
and the
corruption,
and the
everybody is willing to accept that
and
corruption.
the reason why that doesn't make it is because, again, we've got the fourth estate. We've got, when people don't hear about it, when it is ignored by the press or mildly reported about in the press, when you have a very biased press who exaggerate claims on one side and ignore issues on the other, the people don't hear about it. Now,
Do you believe that?
yes, I do. I honestly do. I
See, I
honestly
don't.
do. I honestly do believe that, uh, it, like Obama, they say Obama was scandal free. Why was he scandal free? Because the press didn't make anything a scandal with him.
No, it's because nobody is willing. See, here's the problem. You have Obama was scandal-free bullshit, and the American people know it because the American people watched what he did. I mean, when you put Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State right there, you're done saying you're scandal-free. You're done. You're done. The American people accept it. The problem is you have all these politicians on both sides coming out and saying he was scandal-free. We don't acknowledge this as a scandal. We don't acknowledge this. That
Oh,
was
you'll
his
never hear
right to
me
do
say he
that.
was scandal free. There was too many scandals there in the
Right.
Obama administration. All right. What I considered to have been a scandal and he should have had been called forth to answer on. All right. And you damn well know that. Just like I think that Mitch McConnell's got a hell of a lot to answer for.
All these
All right.
motherfuckers
And
do. The problem is nobody like us is calling for their heads.
if that's it, there is nobody like us in the proper position being calling for their heads. We don't have, you know, we don't have anybody at CNN. We don't have anybody at MSNBC. We don't have anybody at NBC, CBS, or ABC. All right. The few networks or places where there are people calling for them, right? They, the rest of the media, the rest of the press, you know, they're just extremists. They're just right wingers. They're racist. They're homophobes. They're transphobes.
Yeah, but again, this is also, again, it's baked in, Shroom, because you don't have the Republicans out there beating on this every single
That
fucking day. They should be beating on this shit. The
and I agree.
Republicans,
I agree 100%. We
it's all
got
baked in.
the Republican Party, starting with Mitch McConnell and McCarthy, are spineless as hell.
They're not just spineless, they're corrupt motherfuckers. Come on, they are corrupt. McCarthy, look at what McCarthy has allowed happen since he took speakership. I mean, he allowed that infrastructure bill to go. Are
Right.
you fucking kidding me? You telling me that the Republicans didn't support that? No, they absolutely did.
Oh,
They
I'm not saying.
absolutely did.
I'm
Because you
not.
had Republicans on both sides, the House and the Senate, vote for that shit. This is all
Exa-
baked into the cake. This is all part of the machine. The machine is corrupt, and it needs to be destroyed. But as long as we're allowed to allow a certain amount of corruption, the machine is always going
I
to be corrupt.
I really wish. I really wish that we did live in that utopia.
It's not a utopia, Shroom, if we make it happen. We start from the fucking ground up. Look at what's happening here in California. As fucked up as California is, you have school boards that are getting elected that are saying no to the governor of the state, saying, fuck you. We don't want your bullshit. That shit
Yeah.
will translate. But you know what? As long as you have a Republican Party that is part of the machine that allow states like Nevada, Idaho, Utah, we're watching Texas turn purple. As long as they allow that shit to continue happening and they are not going to fucking beat that drum every goddamn day, this shit is just going to continue to slide downhill. So the
And
party that you are
what?
supporting, you are saying, I know the party is part of the machine that is fucking this country, but I still have to support it. That,
I and
we can't expect any change then. We can't.
now, like you. Okay, I vote. I'm trying to vote in people who are clean. All right. I do not vote for in primaries and such. But then when it comes, for so and so, just because he's been there for 20 years or 5 years or he's the incumbent. All right. But when it comes down to the final election, who is actually going to be sitting in that seat? Then it's, dear God, please forgive me for casting this vote. Because
Or to,
I've got to vote for the person who most closely aligns with for what I believe we need for this country.
yeah, and
I
if
mean,
you
as
think
much
like
as I
that, we're
dislike
gonna,
as much as I dislike Matt Gaetz, I would vote for Matt Gaetz if I was in his district.
so we're gonna end up with Trump Biden again. And Biden, the only shot Biden has is if Trump is the nominee for the Republican Party. And at the rate things are going, Trump will be the nominee for the Republican Party because you have the media backing Trump. And don't think this bullshit that they're pulling. They want to
And,
see Trump as the nominee. He's the weakest motherfucker out there. He already has half the country that hates his guts. So the media wants to beat this motherfucker into the nomination. He wants they want to piss off the other half and go, "Oh, well, we'll show you. We're going to put the only motherfucker that can lose to Biden, who already lost to Biden as the nominee." Again, this is all a show at this point. The media's in on it, the fucking Republicans are in on it. The fact that you have Republicans that are willing to support Donald Trump after all the batshit crazy stuff that's come out about him, out of his mouth just this year, is amazing. His comments on abortion, they should have fucking pasted him. His comments on COVID, they should have pasted his ass. They should be fucking beating his ass up for what he did during COVID. And they're not. They're not. They're allowing him to attack DeSantis, who opened his state up before most, and went against the federal government, went against their guidelines and said, fuck that, we're opening back up. The Republicans are allowing Trump to beat DeSantis into the ground over COVID. And that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's the machine in action. That is the machine doing what it does.
Becca, Gates' people fooled just like Cruz, a bunch of clip whores that do
Yep.
absolutely nothing except bet against their constituents, absolutely useless while collecting that government check.
Yep. Yeah. Ted Cruz is part of the machine now. Just as
Yeah,
Rubio, Lee, all these motherfuckers. That
I've lost almost all respect for Ted Cruz.
I've lost respect for Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, all them motherfuckers 8 years ago that everybody was touting, oh, these are the real deal. They were the real deal 8 years ago. They're part of the machine now.
Yeah.
Machine grinded them up.
And and that is about the only argument for term limits that I can buy. All right. Yeah, no, I'm serious because
No, I've heard your argument on term limits, and that's bullshit too.
While I believe people have the right to have the representation that they want in office.
Okay.
All right. I fully
Good.
believe
Motherfuckers can serve 6 years in the House, 6 years in the Senate, or 12, whatever. 6 years, 12, done. Guess what? The people get to pick a new representative. They're still voting for who they want to represent them, Shroom. Just because a motherfucker hadn't been there for 30 years doesn't mean that the people aren't getting the choice.
Okay, and see, now you're putting forth a good argument, and that I can't argue against. There is no argument against what you just said.
Okay,
And
Johnny wins. Johnny wins.
yeah. This isn't I don't consider this a win-lose situation, Johnny,
It's not a win-lose situation. This is
this is discussion amongst this is what I want on this channel. It's discussion on issues, point counterpoint, the whole 9 yards,
I used to think the way you did. There's a certain amount of corruption. I watched my father justify a certain amount of corruption. A certain amount of corruption is what got us where we are today. The compliance of just, okay, let's not make a huge stink about this. Fuck you. I'm making a huge stink about it. All the shit that we're dealing with in the here and now, from the trans issues to political issues to the education issue, is because we have been conditioned to say, let's not make a big deal of this. Or is this really worth fighting for? I watched that shit over Starfield and the pronouns. Is that a big deal in the grand scheme of things? No, it's not. But you know what? People are sick and tired of pronouns. And people are going to start taking a stand. They take a stand there. That's where that one guy that lost his shit. Would I have lost my shit like that? No, don't care. I'm not going to play the fucking game. But I get we have to take a stand somewhere. We have to stop allowing the conditioning that they have pushed on us to say, is it really that big a deal? Do we really need to get that upset? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We accept that the education system is fucked to a certain degree right now. The reason the education system is fucked, we've been watching it for 50 years slide downhill. And nobody has stood up because they went, well, it could be worse. Well, guess what? It got worse because we didn't make a big stink about it 50 years ago.
Right. And I think a lot of people have gotten that that's why they're pushing back now against the pronouns. They're pushing back now. Parents have gotten the point, and as Becca and many other people stated, all right. I mean, you've stated it, and I agree with you. All right. We've got to, if we're going to make these changes, we've got to start with our local governments first and work our way up the food chain.
Yep.
We can't work down it. We have to work up it.
We can do both. See, that's the beautiful thing. We can do it both ways. But the ground level is where we will have the most impact right now. Because
Right.
part of the problem is the American people want to see things change right now. Well, it's not going to happen. You have lost 2 generations to the education system that is absolutely fucked. You've lost two
Oh,
generations, and that is
I,
not going to, change overnight.
I got blocked by a therapist. She couldn't be more than probably in her late 20s, early 30s. And she was saying, uh, boomers are too harsh. Boomers are too black and white. They're not as accepting. And I responded to her that boomers don't talk to therapists. Boomers don't do this. Boomers don't do that. And I talked to her and I said, well, it's because a therapist like you is why we've lost 2 generations of people,
It's our
because you
therapist.
you make excuses for everything. And if I don't I don't call you therapists anymore. I call you the mind rapist. And she really, I mean, she blocked me, because she couldn't handle having somebody disagree with her to that extent. And it was, well, you're just another one of those boomers that I was talking about.
No, bitch, please. I'm Gen X. We will accept a lot of shit as long as it doesn't impede our lives. The problem is, all your shit's impeding my life right now, and it's starting to
Right.
piss me off.
It is at that point to where, uh, what you want to do, and what you want is making demands on me.
Hmm.
You're wanting me to conform and act like you want me to, instead of giving me the right or acknowledge that I have the right. You don't give me shit. You have to acknowledge I have the right to disagree with you. I have the right. If you're not around and I want to say, hey, that idiot over there, instead of that duckling or they, them, or whatever the hell, the pronoun I have for you is that idiot. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, see, I've
Now,
been hanging out with Becca so long that I have stopped filtering myself in public. I just don't do it anymore because of Becca. I used to filter myself, and I just don't do it anymore. And you know what? It feels good, but you piss a lot of people off, you
oh
know.
yeah. The only time I filter myself anymore is when I'm actually at work and dealing with customers.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Okay. Uh, I, but yeah, no, but that's it. I mean, I could be standing in line at Publix to get a sub, and somebody, hey, dude, no, that ain't the way this thing works. So, Becca, it's not letting the hate flow. It's not letting it's not unless you equate truth with hate. And for some people, they do equate truth with hate. But okay, hey, Johnny, as a backup here to what I'm saying, a news outlet asked uh, online poll. Okay, the news outlet's called the Raw Story. I don't know if you've ever read any of their stuff. Okay,
Occasionally, yeah.
okay, listen to this. Raw Story, America's largest progressive news site, conducting a national online poll about whether you believe Trump should be allowed to run for office. All right. Raw Story will use this poll to help shape our coverage. So, the news outlet is admitting here, and this is just this one here. Every other ABC, NBC, CBS, they're all doing the same thing. Whatever gets them the clicks, whatever gets them the eyes, whatever gets them the advertiser rates. However,
See,
they want
I don't think it's
that.
that. I don't think it's advertising anymore. It's how much power can they accumulate from the political wing of the United States government. I because these motherfuckers, they have advertisers saying, "Come on, we would like a straight shot here."
Well,
Uh,
now I tell where I think a big problem with the news is it's been too consolidated. I mean, Walt Disney owns the news. Walt Disney, was it ABC Disney owns?
hmm
All right,
Yeah,
Gannett owns three-fourths of the press of the written press in the country.
yeah, and and we have been watching for what the last 2 decades. We've been watching the legacy media and the original three became four news organizations to crumble. We've been watching them slide downhill because everybody knows they're full of shit. Nobody is using their products
Well,
anymore. Nobody's
the
going to
internet and
CNN.
social
So
media
where the
have
fuck's
taken over.
yeah, but where the fuck is the money coming from to continue running these organizations where people are not frequenting CNN, MSNBC. Their ratings are in the fucking toilet. They have been for years. So how the fuck are these things still afloat? You have corporations in the political wing that are pushing this shit. Again, it's a machine at this point. And how we fucking stop it, this is my frustration. I can see it. I can see where the problems are. The problem is this spider web's out. There are so many threads to this. It's like, which one do I want to fuck with today? And if I fuck with it today and don't stay on it, well, it ain't gonna do any good because everybody will be, focused on the next thread and then the next one. How the fuck do we focus on 50 different threads of corruption within the American society? We've got the media, we've got the politics, we've got the states. Shroom, the only thing that is going to start fixing this is the education system. Until the education system is fixed and children know how to think and how to recognize bullshit when they see it, this shit's never going to change.
And
They have
that
no idea what the Constitution is. They have no idea what the country stands for. They have no idea what their job would be should they be elected to office. You know what? They're going to run the country the way they're told to run the country by the people that take them under their wing, the corrupt politicians. Mitch McConnell is going to replace himself with someone else. He's going to explain this is how the system works. This is how you fuck over the American people while enriching yourself.
I mean, this should have made national news and not as a joke. But
Oh, this guy's dirty too. This guy's
this
dirty.
this whole thing,
Yeah.
this thing here, it should have been held up as a disgrace with the media sitting there blasting him and, run him out of town. Tar and feather his ass and run him out of town.
No, the parents should be the ones that do that. And again, if the parents aren't fucking hammering this guy, it's because the parents don't know that he's doing something wrong. There are a lot of parents out there that are okay with this because they weren't taught this is wrong. This is wrong. These again, we're talking about two generations that have no idea the
Okay.
difference
Now,
between right and wrong and have been conditioned to accept freak jobs like that.
okay,
You have
what?
you have a principal. I think he's a principal. He's either a principal or superintendent that was arrested for child porn.
Hmm.
And it was in Oklahoma, and they are standing by the motherfucker.
There's a principal just put in hired who's a damn drag queen and shows up to work as principal in drag uniform.
hmm
All right. Becca brings up a good point here. All right. And the First Amendment auditors, Second Amendment auditors, there's some of them that have really given this a bad name, but there's a lot that have given it a good name. We are all investigative reporters. Screw these news networks. And that's where the social media comes in, and we try to get these videos out. You've got a camera in your pocket.
Well, I don't
You
because I don't have a cell phone. So
Oh, well, if you've got a cell phone, even an old style flip phone, you've got a camera in your pocket. And even so, even without, what that camera does is it gives definitive proof. It's not oh, well, that's what you say, but what actually happened type thing. Video, it's hard to get video. It's what, let me read. How can I put this? Because video does lie on a daily basis, depending on how it's been edited uh, and shaped. It's like that woman that was tried to run over the cop and was killed after stealing all that liquor out of the Kroger up there in Ohio.
yeah, play
You
stupid
know,
games, win stupid prizes.
the video at first they said, well, she wasn't stealing nothing, yada yada yada. Well, even if she wasn't stealing nothing, she tried to run the cop over.
Yeah, that was a bitch that was pregnant that was going to use her
Right,
baby as a shield from getting arrested. That's all that was.
right.
Again,
But then
fuck
it,
around, find out.
but then it comes out, Kroger releases the video of her putting at least 10 bottles of alcohol in her bag, and another 5 or 6 bottles in the box or in the little carry thing that they have, and then walk out the door without paying for any of it.
Hmm.
So, a couple $100 worth of booze walked out the door. And
Yeah,
now, and the cops, cop gets in front of the car. Another one is there at the door, and she puts it in gear and tries to run the first cop over. The cop shot her. She died. I feel the only death there I'm sympathetic towards is the unborn child. End of conversation. It's FAFO.
it's not the end of the conversation because where the fuck is the national politician standing up going, why the fuck are we allowing this? Where's the state politician standing up going, why the fuck are we allowing this? Nobody, because if someone from the Senate or the House, say Ted Cruz stood up at the microphone, and again we all agree Ted Cruz is a douchebag, and trust me, that pains me to say, because he used to be Moo's hero when he was running for president.
I tell
But
you, there was a time I really loved Ted Cruz.
I did
I
too.
really had a lot of respect for the man.
Not anymore. But that motherfucker takes a microphone and stands up and goes, "What the fuck is going on here? Why are we allowing this in every goddamn state and every goddamn grocery store?" It may not hit the main press, but it's gonna hit YouTube. It's gonna hit Rumble. It's
Now
gonna hit Twitter.
here's a Republican who is standing up. Tuberville. He's refusing to budge on military promotions until he gets that vote that he wants, saying the military will not pay for abortions.
See, it can be done.
Tuber,
It can be done.
Tuberville has been holding up like 250 military promotions. No, more than three. Oh, it's 300 promotions now. And
Again, it
he's
can be
saying,
done.
and he is saying until there's a vote that's telling the military they cannot give permissive TDY, pay for TDYs, or anything else so that a woman can have an abortion, active duty or not, then he is not going to allow those promotions to happen.
Which is
A lot of Republicans are really pissed off about it.
Well, too fucking bad. It's a beautiful thing, but let me ask you a question. Why didn't he extend that to the gender affirming care that the DOD is now approving? Why doesn't he take it that far? You know why? Because he knows he takes it that far, he's gonna get fucking hammered. And the thing is, he'd be right to take it that far,
Oh yeah, he definitely would.
but he won't. And again,
I think he's
the
fighting one
machine.
battle at a time.
It's the same fucking battle, though. It's the same fucking battle.
So,
Both are personal decisions. You
well,
spread your legs, you get
I'm
pregnant, you're gonna need an
okay.
abortion. That's on you. You
Now,
want to
as
change your gender? Again, personal decision. That's on you.
now, y'all know I'm retired Air Force. I come from a long line of military members. My father was a battlefield commissioned officer as well as an E9 after he lost his commission. My grandfather was a brigadier general. My great grandfather was a 2-star. He was a major general. All right. And then I retired as an E6. My brother was over at the Fulda Gap with the cavalry unit. All right. So as somebody who spent time in the military, this social activity, social representation in the military is destroying our military. I saw people whose jobs were office jobs, that computer work. They were amazing at what they did, absolutely amazing at their job, were kicked out because they were 5 pounds overweight, or they couldn't run the mile and a half in the time that they were required to do. But their job did not require them to, their job required them to sit at that computer all day long, watching that scope, taking care of this, doing that. They had that sedentary job that their brain was the most important thing going for them, right? And they kicked them out just to let in somebody that wants to have their dick cut off or have their boobs cut off, and then that this is a mental illness, that the government is going to spend millions of dollars in gender affirming surgeries and medications
Yeah,
when
you're
they
not wrong,
could they
Becca. Becca's not
not Beck,
wrong.
Becca, you're wrong.
No, she's not. If the requirement was there when they took the job, they know what the requirement is, and
Okay.
they should do what they can to meet the
Oh, now
requirements. If
I'm
they
okay.
can't meet the requirements, they
Okay,
shouldn't be there.
Johnny, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But I'm holding that as you kick a guy out for being 5 pounds overweight, all right?
But
Yet you're putting somebody in that position that wants to have their dick cut off, and you're going to pay for that.
both can be wrong, Shrum. Both can be wrong.
All right. Well, do you understand the point I'm making, though?
Yeah, but I also
All right.
understand both can be wrong.
Oh, I understand. I understand both can be wrong too. I was in that position that I had to lose 8 pounds. I had to lose 8 pounds at after I hurt my knees and had multiple knee surgeries. All right, I had to lose 8 pounds, and I had to pick up speed on my run because I spent a year recovering from knee surgery where I couldn't run. So I got very sedentary, and I put on 25 pounds over that year because I didn't change my eating habits. I ate as much pasta and pizza as I did before and put on 25 pounds. All right, so I had to turn around, hurry up, and lose 8 pounds in order to make my weight max. All right, and I had to really bust my ass on getting my speed up to make my run like I was supposed to. Okay, so I've been in that position. All right. But I'm just saying if you're going to be so hardcore saying that this job requires this, that you're going to throw a guy out for being 5 pounds overweight. All right. But you're going to put somebody in there that you know that you're going to be losing to surgeries, that you know that you're not going to be able to send them TDY for extended periods of time because they won't have their gender affirming drugs their testosterone or estrogen or whatever else cocktail you're throwing at them, so that they can feel like they want to feel, to comply with their mental illness.
Shit, Shroom, it can just be a lovely vanilla lotion that make them feel the way they want to feel. No, I get you. I'm just saying, Becca and I did showed a video of a guy. It's on TikTok. He is in the army, and he does bi-weekly posts about the shit that he does to make himself feel more feminine while he is in, fatigues. And so, and
Oh,
because he
well,
can't, wear the makeup and all the bullshit,
right.
just a simple vanilla lotion and that aroma helps you feel feminine while you're out
There,
and about. And I'm like, motherfucker, you need to stop.
there's a guy in the Australian army that got them to change the captain, if I remember, because I just read this story last night or the night before. He got them to change the regulations that he can wear men's uniform one day and a women's uniform the next day because it all depends on how he feels.
God damn it. God damn
All right, that's coming to the American military.
it. No, I know, I know.
That is coming to the American military. You know, and again, the American military. The American military's job is to break things and kill people.
Hmm.
We are not a social club. We are not there to make somebody feel good. That is not the job of the American military. It's not the job of the American military to give somebody their gender affirming surgeries and medications. You can work as a civilian contractor if that position exists, but you can't be in the military because you can't be told to go TDY on a moment's notice.
Well, I think I mentioned in your stream a couple of weeks ago, you were talking about today's military, and I brought up AP had shown a video of Chinese school children, no more than 12,
Oh yeah,
doing war games.
yep.
And I mean, they even had tanks. China ain't fucking around with their military.
Oh,
And then
have
there's
have
us. We're worried
ha-
about skirts and makeup and
have
lotion.
you noticed that TikTok here recently put in a STEM? You got your for you, you have your favorites, and now you have a STEM
Mm, I don't frequent TikTok.
field. Yeah, that's something new they just put in because the TikTok in China and in the Far East is all STEM. It's not cats dancing and Gregory Marsh and all this other nonsense.
Yeah. They're actually,
It's all
you,
STEM.
look at what they do with their kids. They educate their children. We are not educating our children.
No, we're
You know?
destroying. We've got a completely lost generation, right? I
I do.
saw I saw an article the other day that I did not save it, and now I can't find it now. All right, a school district's put out a new grading system.
Hmm.
A 21 is a D.
Oh my
You
God.
can get 79% of the test wrong and
Hmm.
still pass.
Shroom, trust me. I look. I didn't realize how bad the education, because I've been, you and I banged heads on the education system for years. We both agree it's fucked up. We just have different views on how we fix it and how important it is. Um, we put Moo into the public system this year, and holy fuck, I had no
How
idea it was that
how
bad.
far ahead is he of the
Oh
rest of his
fuck.
class?
Oh, he look. He is in an art class. They spent 2 days learning how to dissect an inch, a foot, and a yard. Okay, how you get a half an inch, quarter of an inch, shit like that. 12th
That's
graders. This is
kindergarten
12th graders.
stuff.
Right, right. Little Johnny got nah. I'd say first grade because we did little Johnny in first grade. Um, They did not know how, and the thing is, they were given a week. They were given a week to do a 5-page, test, a quiz, whatever. Allowed to take it home, allowed to use Google, um, and people still failed it. People still failed it. They have no idea how to break something down into fractions. We're talking 12th graders here. And the teacher, this is what pissed me off. It wasn't so much that the kids didn't know. The fact is, the teacher accepts that the kids don't know this, need to be taught this because they weren't taught this coming into her class, so she must teach it. So she already knows that the system is fucked, but she accepts it. She accepts it. She doesn't, this is the way it is. This is the way it is. No, as a teacher, you do not accept shit like that. The horror stories. I mean, he gives me a story. He's had 3 substitutes, um, just in 2 days, and this is a reoccurring thing. He has at least 4 substitutes a week in his various classes.
Well, Las Vegas, Nevada itself. In the state of Nevada, it is illegal for teachers to go on strike, for anybody paid by the tax dollar to go on strike, which surprised me when I found out that's actually the law in Nevada. All right. So what the teachers are doing right now, because they're in the midst of contract negotiations, teachers are using their sick time. So they're actually having to cancel school classes at schools, close down schools a day at a time because so many teachers are calling in sick,
And the
and they
parents
can't
should
find,
be
and they won't find substitutes.
and the parents should be at the fucking school board and at the administration office raising hell,
Well, they're
demanding that these motherfuckers get fired.
well, they're
Like,
actually the school board is actually going to court. They went to court over it. They filed. Uh, they've they and the article as I read it, they're filing wanting the court to step in, uh, and because they want to file charges against the teachers union.
Becca, you
Not
didn't tell me how fucked up it was. I knew it was fucked, but I didn't realize how fucked.
Another school just told teachers they can finally, uh, if a student turns in a paper on time,
Yeah,
the lowest grade
I
they can
read
get
that
is a
one.
D.
Yeah, I read that one.
But if they
Yeah.
turn in late, then they can flunk them. They can get
Well,
an F on the paper.
yeah, that okay. When I was a senior, in high school, 1988, guys. Yes, I'm old. Um, we were required to, in our English class, to get out of high school to get that diploma. We had to write a 10-page research paper, all MLA documented, all that bullshit. My psychology class required that to graduate, and my history class all required that 10-page research paper. They're not even required now to write a 5-paragraph paper, no word count, no nothing, explaining what they want to be when they grow up. They don't have to write shit to get out of high school to get a diploma.
My American government class, which was a year-long class, I had to take my senior year. And that class was required to graduate.
Yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
had one too. Yeah.
And the first 9 weeks, I had to do a report on a senator from Ohio.
Hmm.
All right. Good. And this is in 1978, 10 years before you.
God damn, you're old.
All right. That's for the first 9 weeks. For the second 9 weeks, had to do a report on a committee within the Congress, House or Senate, didn't matter. At the end of the year, I had to do a report on both the House and the Senate, the differences, the similarities, and how each one worked, yada, yada, yada. Compare and contrast on the House and Senate. And that paper had to be a minimum of 20 pages. and it was to be typed. In '78, we did not have computers.
That's right. Yeah, I typed mine out. Yeah, I typed mine out. Shit, they didn't even want us using typewriters. They had the backspace delete key. They didn't even want us using those. And it was like, fuck you. I am not pulling out that little thing to white out a mistake I make. Cause shit, you know how big my fingers are on these little keys on this typewriter? The fuck out of here. I was
Now,
lucky because I had a dad for an attorney who had one of them special typewriters that just backspace deleted
oh,
on the
I
paper.
I just use the typewriter in the library. Tyre. Now, see, I totally disagree with requiring a student to do community service, and that's okay. Doing something away from the school like that, community service, I totally disagree with that. You know,
Um, I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't see it as a bad thing. Um, I it would part of the problem. I don't know. In high school, we had to go to the court and sit through a day of court. That was, I got excused from that because, well, I grew up in a courtroom, but it gave the kids an idea on how fucked
okay,
up the judicial system was
all
in
right. Do you get
'88.
to choose which community service you do, or do they give you a list and you have to choose amongst them? That okay, that would be the question for me is there an approved list or can you pick the whatever one you want to do and they have to accept it? Because there's a lot of things that some school districts would not like to have as community. Okay, you could choose. All right. No,
Yeah, Becca's in an odd school district for what I'm used to because they actually make requirements. The kids aren't allowed to just be brain dead twats, you know. The garbage I'm seeing come out of this school, and it sucks to call a 16, 17-year-old kid garbage, but that's what they are. And their
well,
parents have
unfortunately,
allowed it. The
there's
teachers
a
have
lot of
allowed
them.
it. Yeah, I know.
You
Deal with it
got
every day.
you got parents that never punish their children.
No,
My
well, their
my gr-
parents are as big a twats as the kids
yeah,
are,
I
because
mean
their parents were educated by the same system.
my grandson comes over to the house and he starts to throw he'll start to throw a little fit and I'll just look at him and I'll uh, do you want me to spank your bottom? No, sir. Okay, then calm down.
Jojo, exactly. These motherfuckers need to do what we had to do. God damn it.
Oh,
I
research papers make you think.
Yeah, they make you critically think because you will go into something with a preconceived notion. You may have some idea about it. But once you dig into it, you're like, hey, maybe it's not the
Right.
way I thought it was.
Oh, it's like that teacher, I can't remember, I think it was in Austin, that got in all kinds of trouble because she taught the Constitution and the national anthem to her children and uh, uh, to her students. I think it was an American history class. And some of her students then decided didn't want to stand for the national anthem or for the Pledge of Allegiance. And she allowed them. You want to sit quietly? That's up to you. You have that right. She didn't force them to do it. And while I disagree with the kids' mindset in saying that they're going to sit out, they've got, as long as they're respectful while they're sitting there, that's perfectly fine. I, you know, I, as long as you've got a reason not to want to respect the national anthem, as much as I think you're a dumb twat for not wanting to show respect for your country, that's your right. But you've got to be able to express a real reason as to why, not well because I believe in BLM or, uh, you know, uh, football players and soccer players sit.
Yeah, but that's society. That's the society that we have been conditioned to accept. The second they say BLM, everyone says, okay. Instead of actually digging, okay, what about BLM makes you
Right.
want to sit down? What do they stand for that you stand for that doesn't allow you to stand up for the national anthem? Nobody asks those questions because they're afraid they're going to be called racist, you know? And again, this is where we come in as parents, as grandparents. This is where we smash them in the mouth. Say, fuck off. Look, BLM is garbage. And here's why. I had a guy, I walked out of the grocery store, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was wearing a shirt that said, it's okay to be an American. Or it's okay, yeah, it's okay to be proud of America. And the guy went, wow, you're brave for wearing that. And I went, are you fucking kidding me? And he goes, dude, you live in California. I shouldn't have to wear a shirt like that. I shouldn't even be on because it used to be a given. 99% of the country, you may not be happy with the direction it was going, but you still took pride in your country.
Right.
I am proud to be an American. We said that. We meant it. We lived it. We believed it. Now, no. It is now a controversial statement. And how the fuck we got here is because nobody asked those questions. Well, why is it unacceptable to be proud to be an American? I asked the dude, really? This is a controversial statement. Even in California? Fuck you. It's not. I wore a shirt last week, the Steven Crowder shirt. Socialism is for figs, whatever.
Yeah, for figs.
I get complimented on that shirt every time I wear it. Makes people laugh when they read it. And I was pointing out, no, he is figs, man. See the little fig down here? Motherfucker was hung on a fig plantation. And they're like, uh-huh, uh-huh. But then you have people that take great offense to that shirt too.
Yeah.
I'll get 4 or 5 people.
Now, see, Becca's just hit a very well-known soapbox of mine. Something I stand up on, and you and I will agree pretty much down the road with it. Right now, I've been at the point for several years, actually for well over a decade, that every illegal should be deported upon as soon as they're recognized as an illegal, given a bologna sandwich and an escort to the nearest border.
Bologna sandwich.
Given one
Shit,
of
that's
one of Sheriff Joe's green bologna sandwiches and escorted to the border.
fuck the bologna. Give them a government cheese sandwich. Get the fuck out. There, our government has supported you.
You know, that one of those miniature bottles of water to wash it
Yeah.
down with.
Mm. Well, the UN just dropped a report this morning that says that immigration to the United States is the most dangerous in the world. And I'm like, good, good. Apparently, it's not dangerous enough because motherfuckers keep coming.
Oh,
And that's a shitty thing to say, but at this point, I don't care anymore.
oh, you know, New York Adams, and even
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, I mean,
motherfucker.
he has now totally switched from what he was saying before he was elected to what he's saying right now.
But
Now,
he hasn't switched enough.
he
See,
hasn't. You're
he still wants the open borders. He just doesn't want the motherfuckers in his city.
well, at least now he's acknowledging that there is a problem. Before he wouldn't even do that.
But is it
But now,
only a problem in his city or is it a nationwide problem? See, he
and
doesn't
when
ever specify that.
and the people of New York are getting hit when he said that he has to do a 15% reduction
Hmm.
in all government spending in order to fund the spending for the illegals. Taking 15% from the police, 15% from the health, 15% from the education department, 15% from every department within the New York City government in order to pay what he's got to pay for all the illegals he's got. And I sit here, and Becca knows exactly. Becca, is much more familiar with this than I am. I mean, I'm in Florida. She is actually in Texas. You know, I'm sitting there going, where were you 5 years ago? Where were you 10 years ago when what you are seeing right now was a daily occurrence down along the Texas border, down along the Arizona border? Where were you? What were you saying? Because it wasn't in your backyard. You didn't give a damn.
That- Shrimp. Again, this, where the fuck were these assholes? Where the fuck? Okay, let me ask you a question. Where the fuck were the Republicans when the state of California voted to not fund illegal students, to not fund ESL, to not fund medical for illegal students? Where the fuck was the Republican Party? You know where they were? They were getting paid.
When
You know,
okay,
because
when
now hold
California
on.
voted to not fund, is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
the state of California, the voters voted to not fund teachers
Okay, I
for
missed that.
to vote for teachers, English as a second language, translators,
When did
and
that happen?
this happened late 90s, early 2000s. We voted. The state of California voted. People voted and said, no, we're not going to support this shit. The next day after it passed, the state of California and the Democratic Party filed a lawsuit against the voters to have that thrown out. And it eventually was thrown out because nobody stood up to say, hey, fuck off. The voters voted for it. The courts took it, ran with it, killed it. Thing with the gay marriage, we voted for gay marriage in this state twice against it.
Right.
Where the fuck was the Republican Party to protect that? You know? Again, this is all baked in. It's all baked in.
But when the Supreme Court stands up and says, and this is again why the uh, of all the things Trump, good, bad, and different, Trump gave us a decent Supreme Court.
Yeah, yeah, and as long as John Roberts is there, it's always going to be in danger should one of the conservative judges drop. You know, look at
It's
Clarence Thomas. I mean, that motherfucker's older than Moses, and that
yeah.
motherfucker drops dead. We're right back to where we were, with Gingrich or, you know, fucking douchebag. We're right back into we have a Supreme Court. Fuck, we have a Supreme Court justice that can't identify or define a woman. This is absolutely ridiculous. American people are standing for it too. Republicans should still be screaming about that. Republicans don't stand up. They stand up for a week and then they move on. They're getting paid, man. It's all
Once
fucking corrupt.
they lose, they lose.
And they're going to continue
You
losing.
know.
That's the problem. They lost California because they saw, California's turning blue. California used to vote whenever Sacramento went blue, the voters were smart enough to put someone red in the governor's seat. We are now a supermajority, and look at the shit that they're doing. This is the same shit that's going to happen to Colorado, Nevada, Idaho, because the Republicans, the second they get pushback, the second they get called racist, the second they get called transphobic, homophobic, whatever, they bail from that state. Look at what's happening to Texas. If you had told me Texas was even teetering on purple 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I'd have called you a fool and laughed my ass off walking away. Texas is going to go purple if the Republicans don't take a stand. The only motherfuckers going to take a stand are the Texans. If Texas goes purple, the Texans are going to stand up and say, all right, we've had enough of this shit. We're seceding. We're getting the fuck out of here. You people are
Well, I'm
crazy.
I'm seeing advertisements from groups saying, "Hey, we want to turn state Texas. We want to turn
Yeah.
Florida," and they are paying people to move.
Yes. They've seen it done. Shroom, they've watched it
They
done.
they are actually paying people
Hmm.
to move to another state
They've
in
been doing
order
it for years.
to turn it.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years too. They're looking at Tennessee, Florida, Texas right now. They got a decent foothold in Alabama and Georgia.
But
You
right
know,
now, though, they're losing Virginia.
yeah, until those motherfuckers fold. Because Youngkin, there are things that he should have stood up for, and he just didn't. He's like, you know. And I follow, or I used to follow a girl on Twitter. Now that I'm not on Twitter anymore, but she writes for one of the news sites that I use. She's pissed. She's been pissed since COVID in the education system. She finally drew the line where when it came out that the trans female raped the girl in the bathroom, she's done. That's it. It's wartime. She was a mama. She went to war with the school board. She went to war with the governor. They got Youngkin in, but that motherfucker isn't standing up enough. And it's why I stand by what Becca's been saying for years. Fuck DeSantis going to Washington again. I saw what he did in Washington the first time he was there. Leave him in Florida. Because that motherfucker's causing waves all over the country with what he's doing. He's got my governor babbling like a fool every goddamn week. Every goddamn week, Newsom, something stupid comes out of his mouth because of what DeSantis did. And it's beautiful because the American people are seeing that, wow, Newsom is just an idiot. He's a good-looking, hair greased back idiot.
And he's doing his best to be in line for the presidency.
I, good luck.
He's he
Good luck.
he's up there in Washington half the time. Because he knows people will vote for him over Kamala.
Right, right. And he's part of the Pelosi, Brown
Crime
political
family.
family. Yeah, he's part
Crime
of the
family.
political family. He's like second cousins to Pelosi. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. The thing is, I think Newsom has gotten so far out over his skis that the majority of America just will not vote for what that man represents. But if he does end up president, the country's lost. The country was lost long before if he ever makes it into the presidency. Because look at California. California's caving in on itself. Nobody's
Yeah,
talking about it.
DeSantis has made the same mistake Trump made. He's listening to the wrong people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But
So,
again, DeSantis was in D.C. He didn't really do much to impress me in D.C. because he could have called Trump out. He could have called Trump out while he was up there. He didn't. I don't understand what the affinity for Trump is. Motherfucker had 4 years. Didn't do shit. The only thing he did was the courts. That, over time, will get wasted away.
I'm going to slightly disagree with you. And all right, his first okay. Legislatively, you're right. He didn't get a whole hell of a lot done, and to that I blame Ryan. I blame Ryan one and the House Republicans for that. 'Cause Ryan, being a never Trumper, never brought anything to the floor for a vote in the House. And then, of course, the second, the midterm elections, Pelosi got the hammer, and that absolutely, that started all the investigations and everything else, and stopped everything going on.
How do you not
Uh,
blame Trump for this? Trump,
well,
Trump could
Trump
have been
can
out there every
Trump,
goddamn day.
Trump, the president, and I don't care which party you're in, the president cannot force the House to bring anything to a vote that the speaker does not want brought to a
No,
vote.
no, 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 no. Right, absolutely. I got
All
it.
right.
But Trump, what the fuck did Trump do to get Ryan out of office? Trump should have been campaigning against McConnell because McConnell was up there fighting against Trump the whole 4 years that Trump was up there. They gave Trump what? One bill, the tax bill? That's it. And then
That's it.
McConnell just shut down. Trump should have been out there absolutely hammering McConnell while
Trump
he
did
was
not.
running.
I agree with you. Trump did not do enough to get his stuff through.
So
All
why
right.
put him back
I
up there?
I agree. But I, but the and of the current candidates for office, all right, and I've pretty much steered clear of making any commentary towards about any of them, including Trump, uh, as far as who I would prefer to see sitting in office. Because right now I don't really like any of them
Right.
for different reasons.
Right.
All right, I Trump is uh, Trump is just too. He's oil and water. He's not going to get shit done. All it's going to be is a slap in everybody's face when he gets if he get in office, if he get elected. That all it is going to be is a slap at the left across the board. All right, but he's not going to get shit done. Okay, uh, anything that he tries to do through EOs will get overturned in the courts, and that's something else I'm pissed about with the Republicans is they haven't done shit to overturn
Mm-hmm.
EOs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Um, DeSantis, he has been listening to the wrong people, and he's just blown his own campaign up totally. Vivek, Vivek is saying the right things, but I don't think he actually believes half of what he's saying. Tim Scott,
Okay, I like what that motherfucker's doing to the media. He has got these motherfuckers just don't know what direction to go with him. I love
I,
what he's doing, but I agree with you. I don't think that motherfucker's gonna stand. He, the second he gets in office, he's gonna fold just like everybody else does.
I don't think he's got the backbone at this point. Tim Scott, again, he says a lot of things that are right, but I don't detect any strength inside of him.
He's part of the
I
machine too.
I don't see a lot of strength, internal strength with him. I don't see any guts. Okay, Pence is a waste of human flesh as far as I'm concerned.
That motherfucker.
Okay, yeah, Tyre's right. Vivek is this cycle's Yang. You know, I mean,
I don't think the person that should win the nomination is declared yet, but I don't know where the fuck they're gonna come from.
I
You
don't.
know,
Yeah, I mean,
if they come out of DC, that we're just gonna be dealing with the same shit. Again, we need someone that's gonna go in there. And Trump, he's been part of DC. He is part of DC. He's always been part of DC.
well, Trump is a Democrat who ran as a
Yeah.
Republican.
The worst he could do is if he went after the Republican Party after he got in office. That is what he could do
Well,
for the
there's going.
country.
Oh, he's got his knives sharpened for several members of the Republican Party. I'll guarantee you, he's got his knives sharpened, ready to cut some balls off.
Well, I think he thought that while he was the president too. I think he thought that. And again, he didn't do shit. Because again, Becca has said it far more eloquently than I have. Trump was up there working for Trump. He wasn't working for the American people. If it coincided, then yeah, it was great. But Trump was up working for Trump.
But like I said, the best thing Trump did for us was the court judicial system, Supreme Court, and his
Yeah,
nominations to the federal appeals courts and such, and to the district courts.
yeah. That's because
But
he turned it over to advisors to advise him.
he
But
did a lot
everything
of
else
good
after,
things there.
yeah, he did. And we're looking at, I'd like to know who the fuck the president of the United States is right now because it sure as fuck ain't Biden.
Oh no,
You know,
no, 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 and it's not Kamala either.
no, she's too
No,
fucking stupid.
there's somebody uh, pulling strings there, and like you said, I wonder if it's Soros's son.
Yeah, I honestly, Becca, I still believe to this day that Trump thought he would come in second or third in the primaries. and he would have profited huge off that. I don't think he
Tyre
honestly believed he could win.
Tyre thinks that Obama's pulling his strings.
Mm. The people that pulled Obama's strings are probably pulling Joe's strings. I don't think Obama is smart enough to pull the strings.
So,
But the people that pulled his strings, yeah, absolutely. So,
but all right, it's been 2.5 hours here, and
you fucking bastard, Shroom. You got me all fired up this morning.
hey, it's been a good conversation, Johnny, and I
You,
appreciate it.
says you. I should have been fucking playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. But now
Hey,
I'm over here yelling at you.
well, I am going to go back and grab a quick shower, eat a sandwich, and then I'm going to put on Baldur's Gate 1.
Oh, you
That
dick.
I'm playing through all the trilogy.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the same thing. I'm watching T-Tac over on Twitch play Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of down with this.
Well, see, I played Baldur's Gate 1 when it first came out
That's because you're
uh,
old.
decades ago,
Yeah,
and I played Baldur's Gate 2 when it came out decades ago.
because you're old.
But then it's been so long I forgot what it's like, so I bought the trilogy, and I'm playing them again.
See, young men like me, that game's too old for us. Young men like me, too old. It's too old.
But see, the
It's
the
sad.
thing is they when they remastered it for the modern computers, they got because I had all my notes and everything. I've still got my original Baldur's Gate,
Oh, you're a note taker too.
and all my notes and everything that I had stuffed in there, I pulled them out and read through them, and they closed a lot of the tricks and such that you could do uh, to help you get through the game.
Yeah,
And
when I
they
played
ch-
the Ultimate
and
series, I
they
took notes.
changed the maps around on you too.
That's right, Becca, Pirate God. Right here, baby. Right here.
Oh, who's Pirate God?
Me. I am a pirate
Oh,
god.
okay. So, but thanks for coming on, Johnny. I appreciate it. Even though we
Yeah,
yelled at
well,
each other, I appreciate you.
see, now I got to fire up my own stream over here on YouTube, you dickhead. Fuck. I got 3 hours before I got to pick Moo up at school. Fuck, I'm streaming. Can't do it over on Twitch because Twitch is my fun, happy place.
Hey, Becca, just be glad the grandpas are telling stories about playing computers, not telling other stories. None of us are picking on you.
Yeah, Becca, come over to my stream. I'll be picking on you. There you go.
Oh, did you see? Oh God, whose stream was it? Had his female was live streaming with him, and the woman's daughter come up and yanked on her top like toddlers will do, and pulled her boob right out of her top.
Yes!
She was wearing a tank top, no bra, and
You
her
got a link?
4 or 5 year old toddler yanked her boob right out.
You got a link to that stream, Shroom?
No, they pulled the stream down.
Oh, god damn it. They need to upload that shit to Rumble.
It was it was funny as hell. So yeah, it was funny. One of these days I'm gonna have to have you on. Yeah, Tyre. I mean, I'd be more than glad to come on your stream. I've been on Johnny's stream a half a dozen times.
Shit, you've
So
been on a drunk stream too.
yeah, I was on one of your drunk streams.
I'm sorry.
So they're all
I'm
you
really
know
sorry.
uh, we I have good time streaming. It gives me a chance to say stuff that and this good chance to get in discussions. I mean, Johnny's got me thinking about a few things.
Johnny
You
always
know,
comes over and fucks over Shroom's stream.
well that's fine. I've
Nah,
never,
I don't
I
like
have,
blowing up your shit, man.
I've never said I'm 100% set in my ways on every issue. Because every issue, somebody else may know fact or something that'll convince me otherwise.
Becca,
There's
that's why
only,
you're supposed to be working on my third wife. Come on, get on it, girl. Just saying.
oh, poor Johnny. He's got my sympathies. Well, you got any words of wisdom before we get out of here today?
Yeah, come over to my stream. I'll be streaming here in a few minutes.
All right.
I dropped the link. Words of wisdom. Yeah, stop accepting this fucked up machine. Start voting these
Okay.
motherfuckers out.
No, I
And the
agree with that.
education system. Fucking get involved in the. Even if you don't have kids, get involved in the education system. Because the education system affects everybody, regardless of child. If you don't
Exactly.
have a child, you still should be involved. If you're seeing something in your schools that you do not agree with, that you do not like, that you think is corrupt, fucking go to the school board meetings. Get involved. Your tax dollars are paying for that shit too. You have a voice.
Hey,
Use
Sean,
it.
how you doing, buddy? I didn't see you come in here earlier. All right.
Oh, Becca.
What is? Oh, am I the asshole stories? Okay. I don't usually get involved in am I the asshole stories because usually it's the asshole. The person telling them was the asshole. You're calling yourself out. Except for that
Um,
one. Did you listen to Monkey Stream last night with Statsu?
no, Monkey was whining, so I didn't.
Oh no, they're talking about one of Satsu's got the tater-headed stream now that he does reactions videos,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's one of his last streams. I haven't seen it. This woman's asking whether or not she should try to hook up with her ex of 8 years ago, and it was like, with everything she'd done to him, there's no way in hell any self-respecting man would accept her back.
Problem is, there aren't many self-respecting men out there anymore, Shum.
Well, this guy was very self-respecting. I'm gonna have to listen to the Sassu stream on it now. But oh, Becca, the school board under the old, yeah, Ty the Tuber. There you go. That's Sassu's new stream, new channel. But our old school board superintendent had me trespass from school board meetings and from even contacting him through telephone or email because because I said I don't give a damn. How dare you swear at me? Because I don't give a damn what you think and what other schools do. So he literally had me legally trespassed from contacting him or any member of the school board because I said the word damn while in conversation to him. Oh, Becca posted a link to Satsu's channel.
That's right. Do your job, woman.
So, but anyway, y'all, everybody, have a good day. It's been nice coming back and having a moment to get some of this stuff off my chest. I've got a backlog of stuff for at least 2 weeks that I want to talk about. I was actually wanted to get into this impeachment inquiry a little bit today,
Yeah, but
and
Johnny
how
came on and fucked it all
and
up.
how the left is going nuts about the fact that McCarthy's using the exact same procedures that Pelosi used. How dare he use? He's supposed to use these procedures, not the ones that Pelosi used to go after Trump. How dare he not hold a House vote?
It's an inquiry.
Right.
It's not
It's an
the actual
inquiry.
impeachment, you dicks. Fuck.
Well, it used to be to even hold the inquiry, you had to have a vote. But then Pelosi changed the rules.
Uh-huh. They don't like it
And
when their rules get used against them, man.
exactly. Eh, And but you see, this is also one of the things that we need to watch out. People like you and me, is at what point do we allow them to change the rules and we follow those new rules? You know, at what point do you start hurt? Yeah, you're getting back at them. You're using their rules against them. But at what point are you hurting the institution of the Congress?
Yeah, look at what the Senate did under, was it Harry Reid, with
Right.
the judicial votes. I thought they should have
Exactly.
rolled that shit back. Well, it'll put, DC in gridlock. Then put it in gridlock until you fuckers figure it out. Put it in gridlock. I don't care.
That's the way it's supposed to be. I tell you, I really want to go back to the Senate being appointed by the individual states, not elected, but appointed by the individual states. Be it either a direct appointment by the governor or a appointment through the legislative process of the individual states Congress,
Yeah,
legislative
okay, so
body.
you're gonna have the machine put the senators in place.
The
Like, Shroom,
Senate's
you are
job.
such a fucking confusing motherfucker to deal
the
with.
the Senate is supposed to represent the state,
Mm-hmm.
not be a popular voted in
I get it.
individual.
I
All
get it,
right.
but you are all about the individual having the choice, and then you're turning around and saying, "But I'll let the machine
And,
pick the motherfucker."
Now I am for I am
Stop it! You're
I.
confusing me.
But you see, when the Senate is actually looking at, saying, all right, I am looking out for the people of the state of Florida. I am looking out for the people of the state of California. I'm looking out for the interests of the state,
What would be
which is
different?
what the Senate is supposed to be about.
Okay, what would be different with California? You know what would be different? We would have two far more extreme motherfuckers in the Senate right now if we went with your system.
And Wyoming would have two more people further to the right, and you
Would
know,
they? Because we're starting to lose those states too, Shroom.
well,
Just saying. What happens
oh,
when, okay, what happens when, say, look at Colorado? If you had told me when I was, I
oh,
don't
I
know,
knew
early
Colorado was
20s,
going left back in 1978 when I was stationed there.
okay, so you lived there.
Yeah, I
But
lived
from
in
the outside
Colorado.
perspective, I never thought I would see Nevada purple or blue. Utah is going purple. Never, never would have guessed Utah. But here
And
we are.
I'm surprised Arizona isn't further left than what it is. Absolutely, to be honest with you, Arizona was left wing back in 78, 79 when I was there. When I lived outside of Phoenix. So yeah. Anyway, all right, y'all.
Shut it down, man.
My back teeth are starting to have motorboat races. All right, y'all have a good day. I'll be should be able to be back tomorrow. I don't think I've got any more doctor's appointments this week. But anyhow, y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. All right, and have a good one.